The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello attendees, my name is Ivana Grötscher and it's time for the next webinar, which is named Pandoras Box Manager Watch Folder and Widget Designer Integration. In this webinar today, my colleague Mike is also here to answer your questions in the chat. Hello Mike.
Hello everyone, enjoy the webinar.
Thanks Mike. Please feel free to ask questions. I will do my best as well. And yes, this webinar will be recorded and updated to our Pandoras Box YouTube channel. So I would say let's start. What are our topics today? Second. Okay, so yes, in the beginning, I will give you an overview about the watch folders in Pandoras Box and Widget Designer. So how to create it in Pandoras Box, how to use it, and especially in Widget Designer as well. Then from version 6.4 in Pandoras Box, there's a really nice feature to combine a Pandoras Box playlist to a watch folder quite easily. This would be the next step. Last but not least, I would give you an idea how to integrate a custom photo gallery by using these tools. So by the watch folder and by the Pandoras Box playlist. Yes. And now, what is a watch folder? A watch folder monitors changes of a specific folder in your file system. So you can add a folder to your file system on the File Explorer and link this folder to your Pandoras Box folder in your Project tab. So if you add media files to this folder, then the media files will transfer automatically to your Pandoras Box project. If you like, you can enable to include the subfolders, or there's an option to decide what should happen when you remove media files from the folder. So if you have a connected client, you can say, please remove also the files from my client machine. That would make sense to save some space storage. Okay, now I would like to show you how to create a watch folder in Pandoras Box. First is to select the folder in the Project tab and have a look in the Pandoras Box Inspector. Select the button named Browse, and a window appears to choose a watch folder in your file system. Then, after the selection, the path is listed here, and here are some checkboxes. Please do not forget to tick the checkboxes. I will give you some information about the checkboxes after I open Pandoras Box. So let's do it together. I open Pandoras Box now. Yes. So, how to create a watch folder? You go to your Project tab, select your title, make a right click and say Add Folder. So you could enter a name like Test Watch Folder. Select the folder and have a look here in the inspector. Here you've seen it before, the field for the watch folder, and press Browse. Okay, so I navigate to a folder, see Christie content. Of course, I have prepared an empty watch folder before, named Watch. Here. Let's check it also on the File Explorer. So here is my empty watch folder. So, and in my Pandoras Box project, now the icon of the folder in the project tab has changed. So now I can see, aha, here is a watch folder because of the eye. Okay, so let's try it out. Here under content, I've prepared some images and videos. So I could mark some images, go back to my watch folder, paste them inside, and wait some moment. Yes, here, activate thumbnails. Here, my images are inside of the watch folder. Yeah, perfect. And yes, the checkboxes. Don't forget to tick the checkboxes. So if I want to add subfolders with videos, images, audio files, then you have to enable the subfolder checkbox. The second checkbox, remove files from project on delete, means if I remove, here so remove the files. So if I remove the images here, then the images have been deleted here as well. Let's try it out with the subfolder, content, images and videos. Copy the images folder and go to my watch folder. And paste it here. Have a look in the Pandoras Box project tab. Here is my folder. Here we are. So all images are inside. Yes, quite easy to set up a watch folder in Pandoras Box. Let's go back to my presentation. So, yes, I've explained how to set up a watch folder, explained the checkboxes here below, and there are also some important checkboxes regarding watch folder. Under the configuration tab, under global resources. So here's a checkbox, monitor changes to files on disk. This checkbox is enabled per default. So if you start Pandoras Box, then it's activated. So please tick the checkbox if you want to use watch folders. If the checkbox is deselected, then the watch folder workflow doesn't work. And then auto spread resources after change to file. So if you change the file, so you add some files to it and it's the same name, then the files will be spreaded automatically to your connected client machine. Yes, so 2 checkboxes. This checkbox has to be enabled, and the second box, yes, if you like, you can enable it. Yes. Are there any questions so far, Mike?
Yes, we got a question here. Can you use the network drive for a watch folder?
Yes, you can enter the IP address. So if the other device is in the same IP range, then you could enter the IP address and the related path to access the network folder.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The next topic is playlists. A Pandoras Box playlist. So here with the playlist, you have a quick and convenient way to play media files in row. So you don't need to program separate containers. So if you want to fade between 2 media files, then normally you have to use 2-layer. So for the first media file and the second, and you program a crossfade. So with the playlist, you can only use one layer, and you have also crossfades in between. I will show it to you now. A quick overview about the playlist. So same workflow as before, right click, add playlist. So select the playlist, have a look in the inspector, open in resource editor so we can see it's an empty playlist. And yeah, let's add some images to it. So we could mark some images, for example, place them inside. So you can use images, videos, image sequences, what you like to play back. And then you will handle it like a normal content file. So you select the playlist and drag it to your layer. So preview. Here is my Pandoras Box output. And you see here is a green highlight. So the next image fades in. Per default, the images have a duration of 10 seconds. You can change the duration in the configuration tab. Yes, if you add a video file, then the related duration is displayed. Let's have a look. Adjust images. I take video to it. Images and videos. Yeah, some artbeat videos. Videos. Yes. So here now it's 8 seconds and 13 frames. So images is a default duration, and of course videos have related file duration included. The fade time is 2 seconds by default. If you like, you can change it. Yes, the crossfade, there are some options to select different fades, and you can define an in and out point. So that makes sense for video files or image sequences. Yes. So yes, the question is now, how to link a Pandoras Box playlist to a watch folder. I've talked before, so there's a quite easy way in the new Pandoras Box version 6.4, the 64-bit version, to link the Pandoras Box playlist to a watch folder. So my playlist, so I close it here. I rename my playlist now, then it's easier for me to find. Playlist new. And my watched folder, I would say we add, images are fine for the moment. Okay, so select the test watch folder, have a look in the Pandoras Box Inspector, and here is a drop-down list for the connected playlist. So no playlist selected yet. I prepared some playlists before, so my new playlist is named Playlist New. Select the playlist. And now all the images plus the images I've added before are inside of my playlist now. Or I create a new playlist, playlist 2, and I say, okay, no, I would like to select, I would like to link another playlist to my watch folder, playlist number 2, and ta-da, all files are inside of my playlist. Quite fast. Yes. Any questions?
No, right now there are no more questions.
Okay, thank you. So now you've seen I added the files manually to my watch folder here via the file browser. There are some more options, of course, to transfer files to a watch folder or to Pandoras Box. Therefore, we go to the Widget Designer application. The first way. So, okay, and my presentation here. So, now I would like to show you the TreeView widget in Widget Designer. So there you can browse and manage data on your local PC. So either you select the file system or you select the source, the Pandoras Box source, and you have the option, that's a really nice feature, to use it in a web client to transmit files from an external device to your local machine. That means, imagine for the next upcoming project, the user wants to upload incoming photos from an external device to Pandoras Box. Let's say you have a tablet and there are photos inside, and you would like to transfer them to Pandoras Box. So yeah, that's possible with the TreeView. So I will show it to you here on my local PC. Get started. The TreeView is listed here under Widgets, TreeView. Open the item properties. So here in the properties you have a drop-down list for the source, the file system. So here I have the file system, or directly the Pandoras Box project tree. So I am already connected. So the Widget Designer is already connected to my Pandoras Box project. Here is the file structure from Pandoras Box. So, and now you can use the Widget Designer in a browser like Chrome or Firefox. Sorry, I go back and select file system. Okay, so let's go to my browser here. So I only need to enter the correct naming here for my Widget Designer project. If you are using the Widget Designer, for example, with the tablet, you have to be in the same IP range. Enter here the related IP range and the related page. So here is my page for the TreeView. I have access to the file structure, and now I could go to Christie, content, watch folder, and say I would like to add some files to my watch folder. Right click, there are some options. Add file, to add file from the file system, and a separate option to load it to Pandoras Box to the project tab automatically, to create a new folder, to delete an item, or to refresh the tree. For this moment, we go for add file. So a new window appears. Select the folder. So now I could say I will add Artbeats 30 to my watch folder. So press submit and finish. So let's check my watch folder, and Artbeats 30 is placed in my file explorer, and hopefully also in Pandora's box. Text watch folder, yes, here it is. So quite easy way to transfer files from an external device to your local machine. And yes, in combination with the watch folder, or you can also use the option add file and Pandora's box. Watch, yes. Add file and load to Pandora's box without using a watch folder. Content. So, and I take 18. Open. Here it is. And Artbeats 18 is here as well. So it will be transferred to the project name. So there's not a specific folder. Yes. So a way to transmit the files to a local machine from an external device, or directly to Pandora's box with a watch folder or without a watch folder. And another nice option is to use shared folders. So the same, so the user, or there are several users, they make some photos on an exhibition or on a project, theater, and the photos should be uploaded to a shared folder, and then they should be transferred automatically to Pandora's box. So yes, the shared folder, for example, Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, whatever. And I will show you how to link a shared folder to a Pandora's Box Watch folder. Yes. First, a workflow or a Google Drive shared folder. What have you done before? So you, yes, of course, you need an account for Google Drive. You download the Google Drive application on your local machine, and then you log in with your account. And the important point here in the end is select the local file path for Google Drive folder. So therefore you decide which path should be used. So I have prepared a Google Drive folder under C, Christie, Content, Google Drive. So here is a Google Drive folder on my local machine. So if I go to online and have a look in my account, I will see the images folder here as well. So if I remove this folder, then the folder should be removed here as well. So maybe the internet connection is not really good at the moment. Okay, no problem. So I remove it here manually. Maybe I deactivated before. So But that would be the way, so you can add files, remove files, and it is linked to your folder on the local PC directly. So now let's add some files to the Google Drive folder. Take some images, copy the files, and place them in the Google Drive folder. So, I was one step too fast because, no, it was correct. Because I've prepared it in Pandoras Box. It's the same workflow as before to create a to create a watch folder in Pandoras Box. Here under Webinar, I have a watch folder, Google Drive. Under Attributes of Folder, you can find here my linked folder, see Christie Content Google Drive. So, and my images are here inside. So it's the same workflow as before because it's listed here as a normal folder. Okay, any questions?
No, you can go on.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have learned how to set up a watch folder in Pandoras Box, how to use the linking between a watch folder and playlist, how to use the TreeView and Widget Designer in combination with Pandoras Box, and how to use a shared folder in combination with the watch folder. And now the next topic is the watch folder in Widget Designer, because there's also a watch folder. It's a note-based watch folder. It's placed under Notes, Input, File System, Watch folder. Here are two fields. The first field is regarding the path. So you select, so you can enter a path here, or you browse a path for the specific watch folder you would like to set. And the second field is the interval in milliseconds. That means how often the node should check for changes. And here in the end, a file count number, how many files are located in this folder. So let's have a look in Widget Designer. The watch folder node is under Notes, Input, File System, Watch folder. Okay. So let's go for the Google Drive folder. Under C, Christie, Google Drive. Okay. So 20 files. Let's check it. 23. I assume I have to disable my camera because it takes too much performance. So I will activate the camera in the end again, but then maybe it works better. Okay. So connected to output info node. And check what happens when I select all and place the images to my Google Drive folder. Okay. Yes, 40. 40 files in it. Yes, the output is file count and file path. Here you can only see the value. That's correct, because it outputs a list with the included file path. To see what's inside, you can connect an output variable output node for the list variable. So that means we need a global list variable. Let's create it here under scripting variables. Create, right-click, create list. Watch Google Drive separator. I use a comma. Okay. Open the item properties. I've prepared some variables before. So I use watch Google Drive file path. Okay, and now you see, the file paths are listed. Here I can only see one. So I will use the debug message command to display all file paths for you. I go for loop. Start with 0 because the first position of a list starts from 0 to watch Google Drive point count, so the number minus 1 and the brackets. So debug message. Let's check what's inside of the list. Okay. Ta-da-dum. So here the file paths, it's a string value inside of the list with all file paths inside. Yeah. That's the output of the watch folder input node. The file count number and the file path list. Very useful for other programming. Explain it later. So, and now, please be careful when you're using a shared folder in combination with the watch folder in Widget Designer, because sometimes it happens that there are hidden files inside of the folder. Yes, I can remember now. That was the reason why the number of file counts was not correct. Because there are hidden files inside. Let's go to the File Explorer and enable under View Hidden Items. Here's a hidden folder and a hidden file inside. So now, if I go back to Widget Designer, open my custom script button again, test. Here you can find the hidden file, the desktop ini file. So it's no image, it's not very useful for my project. That means please be careful, and yes, as a workaround, you could create a subfolder inside of the Google Drive folder, or you program a logic to remove or to ignore the hidden files. So my workflow is to create a subfolder because that's easier and faster for this moment. Okay. So now I have the Google Drive folder. Here are my hidden files. I can ignore them because I only use the images folder here. That means I change my path to C, Christie, content, Google Drive, images. So 39. Now it's correct. Because the ini file is not included anymore. Yeah, just PNG files. Great. Yes. Take care of hidden files in the shared folder. Any questions regarding the watch folder input node and the related output values?
No, there was just a question about playlists. I already answered that one.
Okay, thank you. So, and last but not least, I will give you now an idea how to integrate a custom photo gallery in Widget Designer by using these tools. So by using the widget, the watch folder input node and the Pandoras Box playlist. So yes, of course, there are several ways to achieve this. But I will explain my workflow. I go to my Widget Designer project and go to my photo gallery. So here are my images. Maybe they are too much. So that's enough and no color bars. Okay, and now import photos. Yes, so one after the other will so appears here in my Widget Designer project. I've connected the watch folder to the Google Drive folder. And now I have the option to select images which I want to use for my photo gallery. So I select the images and then they should be displayed on my Pandoras Box output. So make a left mouse click. You see here a border appears, it's selected, or I deselect the image. So I can select more. Here, 1, 2, 3, and here make deselect one. Yes, so we are fine. My selection is done. And now the next step is to push the images to my Pandoras Box playlist. So I have selected 7 files. And here the now pointer jumps automatically to my playlist photo gallery. And here's a background, and in the foreground, the playlist is running. Yes, the now pointer is here and the playlist is set to free run mode. That's the reason why it plays automatically in free run. Select the playlist, reveal in project tree, open a resource editor. Here is my selection, 7 files. So, and I've added a reset gallery button to reset all. So then I go back, the playlist disappears, and there are no media files in the playlist anymore. So what is my workflow? Go to my presentation. So the photo gallery workflow. First, use a watch folder input node. Here is my notes page and my little programming for the watch folder node. So it's the same as before. I select here my watch folder path. I've added a global integer variable to save the file count number. And I have added a global list variable watch elements to save all file paths to this list. Here I have added a list view. There I will talk about later. So yes, so watch folder check. Check the Google Drive path. Here some images. Okay, fine. Go back to the photo gallery page. So let's check the second step. Use watch folder input node is done. So now define the custom script positions for X and Y. So I am using custom script buttons, so toggle custom script buttons for the images, for click image and highlight image. Therefore, I have created some custom script buttons before and they were not visible. I will show it to you now. So first I remove the custom script buttons. Here in this button is a macro. Here I've entered the start ID and end ID. So I know the start ID is 100 and the end ID is 223. Tiny for loop to delete the custom script buttons. So they were not visible. It makes more sense when you see it now. So, and create custom script button. Here I can enter this custom script start ID. In this case, it's 100. So this macro copies the custom script number 4 from page button position to page photo gallery. So this is page photo gallery. Later we go to the page button position. So what are we doing here? So we have two local variables for the X and Y position. I get the left and top position, the X and Y position from custom script number 4. Let's go to this page button position. Here is my button, this default button, custom script number 4. This button is the start button, the start position for my photo gallery. And then I copy this button, WD control copy, number 4, take the X and Y position and copy the button to my photo gallery page with the new custom script button ID. Here I've entered 100, so it starts with 100, and around it increases by 1. The X position, so the distance between the next button should be 200 pixels, and the distance between the next row should be also 200 pixels. So for example, and then set after the first row, set the custom script X position to the default value because it starts here from the left side again. Okay, so now it's visible. Go back to the photo gallery. And now I create the custom scripts. So I prepare my photo gallery because I've set a maximum number for the photo gallery images. So here the buttons will add it to my page. But they should be not visible for the first moment. That's the reason why I have here the toggle visible button. So, and what is inside? So this button will be copied to the photo gallery page, and it should be not visible. Photo gallery, create custom script. Let's check the running scripts here under scripting, show running scripts. Here you can see my macro create custom script button is still running. So now it's finished. So here are some custom script buttons. I can also check it here under view, widget explorer. And now, okay, the page. So it's photo gallery, and here I have the custom script button number 100, and it ends here. So fine, the custom script buttons have been added to my photo gallery page. Okay, so the next step is, so use watch folder input node, define custom script button position, create a global integer variable for the number of elements, already done with the output variable node. Then create global list variable for the elements path, yes, done. Now the logic to add images to Widget Designer. Okay. Let's check here. Import photos. So here I've added a macro. Go to definition, add photos. So at first, I clear the playlist in Pandoras Box to be sure that the playlist is empty. And then I set the images to the related buttons. So start button ID is 100. Here the button ID. Watch elements is the name of the list with the watch folder file path name. So you can remember I have added an variable output node to the watch folder to save the values, the file path values, into a list variable. So, and now the number of watch files, the file count number, I've added a for loop, and then step by step for each image I add the image to the click image and the release image for the custom script button. That means here the click and release image. If it's added here, I will show it to you as well. So yeah, add the file path to the click image and release. Then increase the button ID by 1. The start value is 100, so 101, 102, 103, and so on. Then make the buttons visible. but just the buttons which have an image inside. So project.custom script here 100 start ID plus E, point visible equal true. So make the buttons visible. Then increase the file ID as well and reset the file ID. In the end, it's for the Pandora's Box playlist. Okay. So close it. Google Drive images. Maybe remove this one. Okay. So import photos. So you know the custom script buttons are already here, just the images will be set, so the file path to the custom script button. Here in the button styles, release and click, as you can see, the file path is set. So, and now here is the same scripting as before in the custom script button number 4, because you can remember I have copied this button several times on page photo gallery, so it's the same scripting inside. Go back to photo gallery. So what happens here? Close this. So okay, I have a global variable current ID and it and a context widget ID. So the current ID saves the actual custom script ID from the custom script I have selected. Then I enable a CSS style for the blue border. The CSS style is listed here. So enable the CSS style in on-press script and disable the border, the CSS style, when I press it again. Here is also a global variable because I save the ID for the custom script button, which will be removed from my selection. A remove ID, a global integer variable. So I save the ID here, the current ID and the remove ID. Then I call next macro add photo list with the current ID here on top. Go to definition. It needs the parameters for the ID, current ID, and the global string variable saves the file paths from my list. And then I add the file paths from my watch elements list variable to another list named photo selection. So I've created a second list just for the photo selection and add the file paths inside. Then, here add file path to list view on page node access. You can remember my list view. There I add the file path and the custom script button ID for my selected images. Let's check it together. So I select here 3 images, check my notes page, and you see here in the beginning I have selected one image and deselected it, so it adds a removed line. The image is removed and I add 3 more files to it. So photo gallery, if I deselect this image and go back to notes page, this image is also removed. Yeah, so here in my list view, I save the selected images, the path, and the custom script ID. So photo gallery page. So now I can select some files. And now the last action is to push the images to my Pandora's Box playlist. Here I have also a global integer variable and a function called number images. So this function returns the number of the selected images for my photo gallery. A local list variable image select list is for my selected images. And here I have a for loop to check is the row 0, then break. Then I check my list view, the cells. If it's greater than 0, please append this image to my list variable. And in the end, I just return the count number from my list variable. So, and I go to the photo gallery active page and call a next macro add selected photos. Okay, a little bit more programming, but not so difficult. So, here. The custom script clicks are the user clicks onto the buttons, because they are also very helpful for my list view to check how many files are needed for my photo gallery. Here are just 2 labels, which I set to visible, and next for loop from 1 to the custom script clicks. I check the cell in my list view. If it's 0, then do nothing. If it's greater than 0 and it's and the text is not set to removed, then add the selected photos to my Pandora's Box folder in my project tab. So resource add to project path. I use the value of my list view, add a folder and file ID to my Pandora's Box project folder under webinar photo gallery selected. So this folder is meant here. Photo gallery selected. At the moment the folder is empty, but after executing this macro, the files will be added, and it also adds a folder and file ID for each image. So, and in the end, add selected files to Pandora's Box playlist. Yeah, that's an example of how to copy or to transfer the images to my Pandora's Box playlist without using Watch folder in Pandora's Box. That's the reason why I've added here the command resource Pandora's Box playlist add items by ID. So all selected images will be transferred to the Pandora's Box playlist with the related folder and file ID. Then last but not least, now pointer jumps to a specific queue and set the state to play. Okay, let's go to my project. So push to Pandora's Box playlist, selected files 5, and the playlist is running. So now open the folder here. You can see The images are inside with the related folder and file ID. And the playlist is playing. Great. The Reset Gallery button includes a Reset Gallery macro, and it just sets the variables to the default state, or make the labels to visible false. Fade out the Pandora's box sequence, clear all cells in my list view, remove all items in the Pandora's box playlist, and also removes the values in my list variable. Then removes the media in my Pandora's box project, set the value to default state. And yes, of course, because you have a toggle custom script button, and some of the buttons are in press mode, some are in release mode. The default state is the release mode without executing the commands inside. And the last one is to make all buttons to make the visibility to false. Yes, from the photo gallery. And then go to the photo gallery page. So a reset gallery function to set all values to default. And reset gallery. Yes. So let's check my presentation. Yeah. We have added a logic to add images to Widget Designer, a logic to add the selected images to Pandora's Box, to a folder, and then to the Pandora's Box playlist. And you need a logic to reset all of your values. Yes. That was my workflow for the photo gallery. Any questions?
I think all is clear. You did a great job at explaining. So great.
Thank you. Okay, great. Yeah, then we are at the end of my presentation. There's some useful information for you. So the webinars can be found on our YouTube channel, Pandora's Box Learn. Please also visit our Pandora's Box forum to add ideas for the next webinars. That would be great. And the webinar schedule is placed on our website with date and time, and you will find it on Facebook as well. Yes, help file to find useful information about Pandora's Box and Widget Designer. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Have a nice weekend. If you have some questions after this webinar, I will wait a few minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you also from my side. Goodbye.